Hi, it's Dennis Daly. The golden age of radio was one of the shortest golden ages of all time, yet during its run, radio brought about immense change in America. Radio brought us through the Depression and the Second World War, and then struggled on until television finally won the battle for supremacy in American media. Radio had begun just after the turn of the last century as dots and dashes, listened to by do-it-yourself radio enthusiasts. Then early voice transmissions brought radio into its first age. By the 30s, the techniques were perfected, the networks were in place, and radio was on its way. The war changed everything, as did the coming of television. On the night of September 30th, 1962, when yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and Suspense signed off on the CBS radio network, the golden age ended. But radio's final 25 years were golden indeed. So join me now as we explore radio's last 25 years. It was 1938. Hitler was marching into Austria. The Nazis began their attacks on Jewish homes and synagogues, and oil was first discovered in Kuwait. Orson Welles' Mercury Theater broadcast The War of the Worlds, and earlier in the year, the Yankees had swept the Cubs in the World Series. American radio listeners were being introduced to a new weekly radio series sponsored by Warner Brothers. Just as MGM had done, Warner's was hyping its stable of stars by bringing them to radio. First, an episode of Warner Brothers Academy Theater. Then we'll revisit another 1938 show, Death Valley Days.
Gruen, Gruen, the precision watch dedicated to the radio audience of America, Warner Brothers Academy Theater. Transcribed from Hollywood. Warner Brothers Academy of Acting presents Special Agent, a dramatic story which encores a thrilling picture which starred Betty Davis and George Brent. Once again, you are invited to join the exclusive audience in the Academy Theater. And your host for the evening is Gruen. There are a good many reasons for all manufacturers to work endlessly at improving their products. The best of these reasons is the response which you, the American public, always give to progressive new developments, and your appreciation of the companies responsible for them. America's response to the latest outstanding achievement of the Gruen Watch Company has exceeded all our hopes. Of course, we refer to the public interest in and the public approval of the new Gruen wrist-side Curvex for men. Throughout the nation, in a few brief weeks, men have acclaimed this smart new watch to be worn on the side of the wrist. As soon as they strap it on, every man says it's the natural place to wear a wristwatch. Safer, more comfortable, more convenient. And they know that this Gruen wristwatch is made possible and practical only by the revolutionary Curvex movement exclusive with Gruen. Only this patented innovation permits a sturdy, full-sized movement in the sharply curved case. If you have not yet seen this newest of all watches, your Gruen jeweler cordially invites you to try one on in his store tomorrow. See it by all means. It's exclusively Gruen. The curtain rises on the Warner Academy of Acting presentation, Special Agent, starring Carol Landis and John Ridgely, two of the most promising youngsters from the talented ranks of the Academy. The story of Special Agent has its beginning in the Federal Bureau of Investigation headquarters in Washington, where various agents, or G-men as they are commonly called, have assembled before the department head on a serious occasion.
I've called you men together to tell you that Uncle Sam is launching on a new campaign in the hope of defeating the racketeers. We all know that these racketeers make money. Some of them are wealthy, millionaires, and yet we realize that they have been paying little or no income tax. Therein lies the weapon we are now going to utilize that will ultimately deal a death blow to the racket barons. We must locate their books, find out as nearly as possible the amount of income they've received. Then, when we do that, we will indict them for income tax evasion. And I don't have to tell you men of this department that there's only one place to begin our attack, and that's at the very top. You all know, gentlemen, that I speak of Alex Carson.
Hello, Mr. Carson.
Good evening, Julie.
Hello, Alex. I was just showing Julie the books. Well, business was fine this month.
That's what you say.
Well, you can see for yourself. It's right there in black and white. Isn't it, Julie?
Yes. Well, I'm not through yet.
A gambling joint like this is just like owning a gold mine, huh, Alex?
This is piker stuff. We make more out of the school kids.
You're kidding, ain't you?
Listen, Armitage. There's 500,000 school kids in this town paying 15 cents a day for a box lunch. We got the concession tied up. 4 cents apiece just to use our boxes adds up. Figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it does. You don't do so bad with them laundries, do you, boss? 2 cents a pound on all the washing in this town, and...
Mr. Carson.
Yes, Juliet?
There's something wrong here.
Yes, I sort of figured there would be a little something wrong.
Now, wait a minute. Can't be anything wrong, Alex. I balanced those books myself.
Go ahead, Julie. Let's have it.
But they don't balance. These books are $16,000 short.
Huh. Oh, there's a mistake, Miss Gardner. You must have made a mistake.
You made the mistake, Armitage. I had an idea this was coming. Julie, are you sure your dope is right?
Oh, yes.
Then leave us alone. Go on outside.
Do you want me to wait for you, Mr. Carson, or shall I go on home?
Go on home, Julie. I'll see you tomorrow.
Now, look, Alex, I can explain. You see, I made a little mistake. You see, I put down the wrong figure, and I rubbed it out.
And I made a mistake that I'm going to rub out. Armitage?
Have some dessert, Julie?
No, thanks, Bill.
What's the matter, on a diet?
No, Bill, I just wasn't as hungry as usual.
You were so late in getting here, I thought I had a starving bookkeeper on my hands.
Oh, I told you I went over to the club and looked over the book for Mr. Carson.
Since you've mentioned it, I wish you'd keep out of those joints, Julie. It's going to be a blow-up sometime.
Oh, let's not go into that again.
Why don't you quit, Carson, Julie?
You have no right to ask me that. What would you say if I told you to quit being a newspaper reporter? You wouldn't do it, would you?
Well, you must admit there's quite a difference between being a newspaper reporter and keeping books for a murdering snake like Carson.
You have no proof that he is a murderer.
I don't need proof, other than it takes too many guys to find themselves suddenly in the East River full of holes. Oh, Julie, it's just that I worry about you so much, and I love you so much.
Going romantic on me, Bill?
I'm serious, Julie. Give Carson the air, and let's go down and look silly in front of the Justice of the Peace. What do you say?
Bill, I'd rather wait a while.
Oh, I see.
Honest, Bill, I want to. I've wanted to for a long time, but I'm afraid to take the chance. I didn't know what I was getting into at first, and then he commenced giving me more and more to do until now I'm his personal bookkeeper. And I'm the only one who knows the code the books are kept in.
You're the only one?
I don't think even Carson could decipher them without me. If I married you, he'd think there'd be a chance of my talking. He might take it out on you, Bill.
Yeah, in the river.
Oh, I don't think he'd do that. I know he's a racketeer and a gambler, but not that, Bill.
Well, let's get out of here. I've got to drop by the paper for a few minutes. Want to go with me?
I'm a little tired. Maybe I'll just go on.
Tony, give me the check, will you?
It's right in front of you, Mr. Bradford.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Here you are.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Come on, honey. I'll put you in the taxi.
Subway's good enough. Better save your money, Bill.
What for?
Come on. Walk with me to the subway.
Read all about it. Paper, extra paper, all about the gangland murder. Extra paper, mister?
Yeah, give me a paper.
Sure.
Julie, look at this.
Yes?
Underworld Bullets riddled Dave Armitage, manager of the 122 Club.
Read all about
Body of Armitage found floating in the East River. Why, Bill, just tonight I was...
Yes?
The books. I told Carson the books were...
Go on, Julie. What happened?
Nothing.
Julie, you've got to open up. What do you know about this? Did Carson have any differences with Armitage?
Yes, he was... I don't know.
You mean you won't tell?
I'm afraid to, Bill. Even you. But I suddenly feel a little weak, Bill. Maybe we'd better take that taxi. After all...
Look at those headlines. Armitage murder, 10th in series of unsolved underworld killings. We know who's responsible, but what can we do about it?
Well, Armitage worked for Alex Carson. I think we've a chance of pinning it on him this time, Walter, if we can just prove that he was...
Oh, yes, if we can just prove. So help me, I'd give 10 years of my life to send Carson to the chair. Yes?
Bill Bradford of the press is here to see you.
Send him in. Bradford's on his way in here.
I wonder what he wants.
Probably wants a statement as to why we don't catch the killer this time. Come in. Come in, Bill. You know the chief of police, don't you?
Sure. Hello, Chief. How are you, Mr. District Attorney?
Fine, thanks. What's on your mind, Bill?
Well, I'm not here for a story, but I've got a hunch you might be able to use.
Yeah?
You figure Carson, don't you?
Naturally.
Armitage was Alex Carson's manager of the 122 Club. Now, don't ask me how, but I happen to know that his books were short last night. Carson discovered it, and, well, Armitage went for a swim.
This killing of Armitage is just another of the crimes Carson's been responsible for. And aside from these continued murders, we know Carson's controlling practically every racket. But what can we do?
If you can hang this on him, you might get to the bottom of the whole mess. You're going to pick up Carson, aren't you?
Yes, on suspicion. But we won't be able to hold him.
Yeah, well, when you go to Carson's office, have a court order with you to confiscate Carson's private books.
Yeah, but can we find them?
You could try. And if you find those books, you'll have enough evidence to convict Alex Carson for half the jobs pulled in this city.
Look here, Jonesy, I don't get this. What's the matter with that judge? Why doesn't he get it over with?
Well, Alex, the judge will take the stand any minute. It'll be the same thing over again. Dismissal for lack of evidence.
About Armitage, yes. But there's something else. How did those flat feet from the DA's office get an idea about my private books?
You've got nothing to worry about. They didn't find them.
No, but they might. Somebody tipped an idea to those flat feet. They couldn't have had one all by themselves.
Where do you keep those books, Alex? In a safe place?
So safe that I am not even going to tell my lawyer about it.
Stand in the courtroom. Order, please.
Gentlemen, the case of the people of the state versus Alexander Carson has been carefully considered. And because of lack of evidence, the case is hereby dismissed.
There you are, Alex. I told you.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Hello, Carson. I suppose congratulations are in order.
Hello, Bill. It was a cinch.
Yeah, you can phone your paper, Bradford. Tell them that Alexander Carson left the courtroom a free man, as usual.
I seem to detect a note of sarcasm.
That's what makes Jonesy a good lawyer. Come on, I'll give you a lift.
I'm not going your way. It might interest you to know that I've got a date with your blonde bookkeeper.
Oh. I didn't know you and Julie were friends.
Well, that just proves, Carson, that even you don't know everything. Well, see you later. The next time you have a swimming party, let me know.
You know, Jonesy, I always liked that guy. Too bad if they had a story in the paper about him.
Oh, Bill, I thought you'd never come. What happened? The same old story, I suppose.
Yeah, case dismissed. Lack of evidence.
Oh, I'm worried sick. I don't know what to do, Bill. Do you know what happened? That day when the district attorney's men came, they had a court order. A writ of seizure for Carson's private books.
Yeah, I heard about that. They didn't find them.
No. He has a special wall safe. Nobody knows the combination but Carson. He locks them up himself.
Julie, we've talked about this before, and I've tried to tell you what a jam you're getting yourself into. They're gunning for Carson, and they're going to get him. You've got to get out while the getting is good.
Oh, I can't, Bill. I'm scared. You know Carson. You saw what happened to Armitage. I can't quit because I'm the only one who knows the code to the entries in the books.
Julie, listen to me. I don't want to call my paper someday and tell them a girl by the name of Julie Gardner, who used to keep books for Carson, went swimming in the East River. You know how I feel about you. Well, one day I want you to be Mrs. Bill Bradford. So there's only one thing left to do. Fix your boss. Put him away where he's harmless. We'll not only be doing ourselves a good turn, Julie, but a whole lot of other people, too. What do you say? Will you do it?
No, Bill. I'm afraid.
It's our only chance ever to have each other. Julie, all you've got to do is tuck Mr. Carson's personal account books under your arm some evening and bring them to Mr. Bill Bradford.
Then we'll both go for a swim.
Julie, I didn't tell you, but, well, I've got another little job on the side.
What do you mean?
Look at this.
Why, Why, Bill.
And I know the way to stop Alex Carson if you'll deliver these books to me.
Oh, how can I do that? I have to turn them over to him at the end of the day's work, and he puts them away.
But I have a plan. Suppose we persuade Mr. Carson that his present hiding place wasn't any good. Listen, Julie.
Hello, Bradford. Nice of you to drop in. Got another hunch? Your last one about Carson's private books was wrong. He hasn't got any.
That's where you're wrong. Somebody's got to keep track of all the dough he takes in on paper, and I know who does. I've got a pretty good idea where he keeps the paper.
Now, look, Bradford, you're a good newspaper man, but
I know what you're going to say. Your department resents a reporter sticking his nose in where he's not wanted.
Well, you asked for it.
It's time you should know something. 5 years ago, I got tired of writing about crooks like Carson and decided to do something about it. Reporting's not my real job now.
Then what is?
Here are my credentials.
William Bradford, United States Treasury Department. Special agent. Well, this stops me.
Yeah, maybe it's going to stop a few other guys. Up till now, Carson has been bigger than the law. That is, the law at your command, but he isn't bigger than the federal law. And we're going to use it to put him in the federal prison.
That sounds fine, Bill, but how are you going to do it?
Income tax violation. It's a 30-year rap if we can make it stick.
When do we start?
Now. Can I use your phone?
Help yourself.
Hello. Hello, Julie. This is Bill. Hello, Julie. You know what we decided. Well, I want you to speak to your boss. Don't tell him who's calling. Just say it sounds important. Yeah, thanks. Oh, hello, Carson. You don't know me, but I just got wind of a story. You're going to have company. It seems you didn't pay any income tax, and there's some law about it. They're coming down this afternoon to look for your books. Yeah, again. Well, sure I'm on the level. Don't mention it. So long.
I don't get the idea. Why warn Carson?
When a fox is in a hole, you've got to smoke him out. Now, here's what you do. Send your men to Carson's office in about an hour. Tear the joint up. Pretend you're looking for the books, but you won't find them.
Well, where'll you be so I can keep in touch with you?
I'll be looking for the books, too.
And the curtain falls on Act One of Special Agent. And the curtain rises on the second act of Special Agent.
Did you ring for me, Mr. Carson?
Yes. That call a moment ago, it was a tip-off. Julie, as you know, there's been a lot of interest in my private books lately. Maybe it would be better if we hid them someplace away from the office.
Well, if you're worried, Mr. Carson, maybe I could...
Could what?
Well, maybe I could take them away and hide them in my room. They'd never think to look there.
Yes. Yes, you could do that. You're a smart little girl, Julie.
Oh, but I'd rather not, Mr. Carson. I don't want to get mixed up in this.
It was your idea, and I guess you're stuck with it. I'll get out the books, and you can take them to your room.
Well, all right, if it will help you.
But there'd better not be any slip, if you know what I mean. And, Julie, you've been with me quite a while, and I need you in my business. Now, I wouldn't want to lose you. So, while I think about it, even the smartest bookkeeper is liable to make a slip in conversation when she's around a guy like Bill Bradford. Oh, I know you're friends. But don't see too much of him, if you don't mind. I don't like it.
Your Honor, I demand this case be dismissed for lack of evidence.
Your client, Mr. Carson, has been indicted by a federal grand jury for income tax evasion.
Without records? What are they using as evidence?
We're coming to that. We are going to show by actual figures that the defendant has made and has extorted millions from a tax-paying public and never paid a cent of taxes himself.
I object, Your Honor, to the prosecution making extravagant charges against my client without substantiation.
If the prosecution cannot sustain his charges, I admonish him to cease declaring them.
Very well, Your Honor. Then I shall ask for a recess until 2 o'clock this afternoon, at which time we shall submit in evidence Alexander Carston's personal books containing his earnings and assets.
That's a lie. You can't do it.
At 2 o'clock, Your Honor, the books shall be entered as evidence in this courtroom, much to the surprise of the defendant.
The court is in recess until 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Hey, Alex, what is this? What's he talking about? I thought you told me those books were safe.
I thought they were.
Maybe he's bluffing.
I don't know. But we got to find out before 2 o'clock. If they've got the books, they'll have to have Julie, too. She knows the code. She's the only one.
Do you think she'll be here?
I think she won't. You see to that, Jonesy. Call up the boys. Tell them to snatch that blonde dame, even if they have to take her right out of the DA's office. I'm beginning to put 2 and 2 together, Jonesy. That dame's got to be put away.
Come on, Carson, let's go.
Okay, Copper. Don't forget, Jonesy, tell the boys. Before 2 o'clock.
The court is now in session.
Your Honor, without further delay, we submit in evidence the private records which, by showing the profits made by Alexander Carston, both legal and illicit, prove that Alexander Carston is guilty of intentionally defrauding the government. Here are the books, Your Honor. Will you please examine them?
That's not in accordance with court procedure, but I shall if it is requested. Hand me one of the ledgers, please.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the evidence, Your Honor, and though it may not be comprehensible in its present form, we will establish beyond proof that these are the private accounts of Alexander Carston. Of course, Your Honor, we realize that the entries are of a peculiar nature, but that's because the books are in code.
Can you prove that?
We can. We have a witness whom we wish to introduce at this time.
Your Honor, it's necessary that I interrupt this case.
Yes.
Well, what's happened, Bradford? The witness, Julie Gardner. She isn't here. She's not in the courtroom.
I object, Your Honor. If they have a witness, let them produce the witness in court.
Bradford, where is she? She won't be here. We've just had word that the witness, Julie Gardner, has been kidnapped.
Hello, Bill. I've been expecting you. It's a little late, too. I haven't seen you since my trial was postponed. Suddenly.
Don't rub it in, Carson. You know what's on my mind?
Yes. I believe you did tell me once that you had a date with my blonde bookkeeper. You'd like another date, isn't that the idea?
Where is she, Carson?
I'm afraid you've made a nuisance out of yourself, Mr. Reporter.
You can't get away with this.
You said that before, but you're the one that looks worried. You know, Bill, I've a hunch that you've been playing a game that's not too healthy for you.
And I've got a hunch, Carson, that you've kicked John Law in the pants once too often. The public won't stand for it.
The public, Bill, is made up of men. And you can buy 90% of them at your own price. The other 10% have been given their choice of crawling on their bellies and being live cowards or taking it in the belly and being dead heroes. It's amazing when you have money and power what contempt you have for John Law and John Public.
There's only one hole in your argument, Carson. Dillinger didn't die of old age.
Oh, save those pretty speeches for your newspaper, Sonny.
Where is she, Carson?
Would you like to keep that date?
Yes.
All right, Boy Scout. If you want, you can have it. Or Lefty.
Yeah, boss.
Mr. Bradford wants to take a little trip. The one we were talking about. It seems Mr. Bradford has a date.
Oh, Bill. Bill, you shouldn't have done it.
Well, it's better to know where you are and be in a jam like this than to be back in town going crazy.
But you know what they're going to do to us, Bill.
Listen, Julie. Lean over here.
I can't any further. The rope's cut my arms.
Don't worry too much. We have a chance.
Oh, but I heard them talking. They knew Lefty was bringing you out here. Carson called up. They had it all planned. I worked for Carson long enough to know what he does to people who double-cross him. It isn't pleasant. They don't just shoot you. Oh, no. That's too easy. And you walked right into it, Bill.
I had to find you, Julie, because this was all my fault.
Oh, I love you, Bill. And if I'd have listened to you in the beginning, we wouldn't be tied up in this house. Miles from anywhere. Just waiting.
But, Julie, there is a chance. When I came to see Carston, I had it all planned. And if the federal men follow my instructions...
Hello, suckers. Having a little gab fest, huh? Well, you better talk a lot. Time's about up.
Funny how a gun makes a tough guy out of a rat.
Shut up.
Stop.
All right, Julie. A guy like that'll hit you when your arms are tied.
Come on, you two. We got a little surprise waiting for you in the other room. We'll take the dame first. But we want you to see it, Mr. Bradford, on account of you're such a Boy Scout.
What are you going to do to her?
Ain't you never seen nobody crawl on her belly begging for mercy? Begging for you to kill him?
No.
You remember, Julie? You remember what happened to Tony Santella?
No.
Stick it out, Julie. Something will happen.
Come on, Lefty. Bring him in. We're ready for him now. Get going, suckers. What's that?
Sounds like somebody breaking the door down, sucker.
It's the cops. It's the cops. They followed me. Okay, Bradford. You get yours now.
No.
Stick up your hands, Lefty. Stick them up. We got you covered. Yeah. Not till I get this board. Oh. Are you all right, Bradford?
Yeah, sure, but you broke through that door just in time.
And how are you, Miss Gardner?
Well, I'll feel better when you untie me, and I can put my arms around Bill.
Oh, I'll have you loose in a jiffy. And there's nothing to worry about the towel. They got the whole gang in the front room, all three of them.
What about Karsten?
They picked him up right after you left. He's down in the courthouse now. And this time, they got him dead to rights. The little matter like kidnapping, thrown in for good measure. There you are, Miss Gardner.
Oh, thanks.
Now I'll turn you loose, Mr. Bradford.
I'll turn Mr. Bradford loose.
Oh, sure. Well, we'll be waiting for you.
Hurry up, Julie. We've got to finish this job. We've got to meet Karsten at the courthouse.
And after that, Mr. Special Agent, I'm going to tie you up for life.
And the curtain falls on the Warner Academy production of Special Agent.
Now another great long-running show that was a big hit in 1938, Death Valley Days.
As the old morning bugle call of the covered wagon trains fades away among the echoes, another true Death Valley Days story is presented for your entertainment by the Pacific Coast Borax Company, producers of that famous family of products, 20 Mule Team Borax, 20 Mule Team Borax Soap Chips, and Boraxo. Well, old Ranger, what's your story about tonight?
Dresser, it's a story about one of the worst bandit gangs that ever operated in the Southwest. And how the Texas Rangers finally cleaned them up, lock, stock, and barrel.
Oh, a cleanup story. Well, that fits in perfectly with my announcement. For where there's any cleaning up to be done, 20 Mule Team Borax will do it quickly and easily. Take the bathroom, for example. The tub, wash basin, chromium fixtures, mirrors, tile or linoleum floors, all can be kept spick and span with 20 Mule Team Borax. And since 20 Mule Team Borax doesn't contain soap, it cleans without leaving any soapy film or gritty sediment. And you'll find 20 Mule Team Borax just as helpful in the kitchen, too. A little borax and a damp cloth will help keep your refrigerator fresh and sweet-smelling. In fact, all your food containers, bread and cake boxes, chopping bowls, pantries, and cupboards should be washed regularly with 20 Mule Team Borax and warm water. Of course, 20 Mule Team Borax has many uses in the laundry, the nursery, and in all parts of the house. That's why so many housewives depend on 20 Mule Team Borax to help them with all of their cleaning. And that's why they always keep a supply of 20 Mule Team Borax on hand. One package in the kitchen, another in the bathroom, and a third in the laundry. With spring cleaning almost here, you'll want to take advantage of the extra help 20 Mule Team Borax gives you. So next time you go shopping, get a supply of 20 Mule Team Borax. Thank you. And now, old Ranger, let's get back to your cleanup story.
Well, Dresser, this is the true story of Sam Bass, sometimes called the Robin Hood of Texas. But I want to say right now that Sam Bass was no Robin Hood. He wasn't much different than any modern gangster. He started out with the same chance to be an honest American citizen, but he ended up one of the most feared train robbers in the whole Southwest. The strange part of it was that in his youth, Sam Bass was nicknamed Honest Eve and had a job working for Sheriff Dad Egan of Denton County. But later, he fell in with Joel Collins and his gang and started robbing stagecoaches. But popular belief to the contrary, they found there wasn't much money in that, so they decided to hold up a Union Pacific train. On September 18th, 1877, Joel Collins and Sam Bass, with 4 more companions, rode into Big Springs, Texas, about sundown. That night, a few minutes before old number 4 was due to come puffing into town, the 6 train robbers was ready for it.
Here she comes, boys. Hey, Sam Bass.
What is it, Cap?
Have you got that station agent's hands tied up good?
Sure have.
All right, boys. See that your bandanas is tied good and firm. We don't want no one to see our faces.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, mine's on good and tight. Mine, too.
Now, don't forget, every man has his work to do. Me and Bill will tackle the engineer and fireman. Jim and Tom, what's your job?
We'll grab the conductor and then stand guard while you bring up the engineer.
That's right. Sam, you and Jack got the most important jobs. You got to get into that express car where the gold is.
Don't worry, Cap. We'll get in if we have to tear the door down with our teeth.
All right, boys, scatter. Here she is. Now, give her some hot lead, boys.
All right, station agent. Remember, if you cross me, I'm going to put this gun right down to your throat. Which is the express car?
The second one.
All right, come on. Jack, put your gun in this rib and make a move.
Oh, don't shoot. I'll do whatever you say.
All right. Now holler in at that express messenger. Tell him to open the door.
Hey, Charlie. Charlie Miller, open the door.
Who is it?
It's me, George Barnhart. Open up.
What was that shooting outside?
Well, that was nothing. A couple of the boys were a little high.
Tell him you got a package.
I got a package for you, Charlie.
All right. I'm opening up. Put up your hands and keep them up.
What the devil?
It's a hold-up. Get up there, Jack.
Get off this car. Oh.
Don't hurt him, Jack. He's got to open that safe first.
Hey, did you get that express car open?
Yeah, it's open. Come on, help look for money. Here, give me your hand, Jake.
Here you are.
Here, thanks. Any more?
I ain't got nothing valuable with me.
Hey, you wouldn't lie, would you? Hey, what's this? Look, Jack, safe is open.
Shucks, this is like taking candy from a baby.
Hey, look there. Paper money. Must be $400 or $500.
Oh, did you find anything, Sam?
Sure. Climb in.
I'm coming.
Look, Cap. Safe is open.
Yeah, that safe's no good. Here's the safe we want to get into. This is the through safe from San Francisco. It's probably full of gold.
Open that safe, you coyote, before I let a big chunk of daylight through you. Hurry up about it, Agent.
I can't open that safe. It's got a time lock. It won't open till it gets to Omaha.
Don't give us that kind of stuff. Open that safe.
On my solemn word, I swear I can't open that safe. Here's my papers to prove it.
What's he talking about, Cap?
I'm going to shoot him in the leg. Wait a minute. Don't hurt him. He's telling the truth. These papers show that safe is locked for keeps. Can't open it. So let him alone.
Hey, wait a minute. What's in those 3 boxes? Hey, you. What's in those boxes?
I don't know. Probably lead casting.
Oh, we'll see about that. Hey, Cap, give me a hand.
Yeah.
This box is heavy as a house.
All right. Lift her up and drop it. That ought to crack it.
Well, I'm a ring-tailed monkey. Look, Cap, it's $20 gold pieces.
Grab those boxes and let's go, boys. We're rich.
Yeah!
Well, Joel Collins was right. They was rich. They got $60,000 in gold off that Union Pacific train. The only trouble was, one of the gang lost his bandana in the getaway, and F.M.F. Leach, a storekeeper who had sold it to him, recognized it. He trailed the bandits all by himself, and one night, while they were gathered round their campfire, Leach crawled up behind a clump of mesquite and saw him divide the gold.
That's all of it. Divided up square and equal. $10,000 apiece.
Boys, we're on easy street for life. Got away clean as a whistle. Well, don't none of us be too sure of that. We still ain't out of hot water.
That's right, Sam. We all got to be on our guard. And the best thing for us to do is split up in pairs and separate.
That's a good idea, Cap. Posse will be looking for 6 of us in a bunch. We can make our getaway better in couples.
That suits me. I'm going back to Missouri. I promised my wife I'd bring her home a hat full of gold from this country, and I'm doing it.
And I'm going back to Danton County. Me too, Jack. Got a lot of friends there, and I know plenty of places to hide out.
There's just one thing before we separate that we got to do.
What's that?
We got to take an oath never to squeal and never to be taken alive.
I'm for that.
Me too.
All right, Sam. You take the oath first, then.
All right. How do I do it?
Just say, I swear I will never reveal to anybody the names of the men who helped hold up the UP train.
I swear that I'll never reveal them. But they didn't know that even while they was discussing their plans and swearing eternal silence, the storekeeper, Mr. Leach, was listening and watching. Next day, he wired the express office in Omaha a description of the 6 men and the roads they'd be traveling. In a few days, 3 of the men was dead, shot down by posses. But Sam Bass escaped to Denton County and organized a new gang of bandits. He hid out near Cove Holler, and a farmer named Jim Murphy often bought food for Sam or give him shelter in his house in exchange for UP Double Eagles. But finally, Jim Murphy was arrested for protecting and assisting Sam and his men. They put him on a train to take him to Tyler. Some say Murphy was a yellow dog, and some say he was a brave man who risked his life to help rid Texas of a dangerous outlaw. But anyway, on the train, Murphy thought of a way he could save his own neck.
Now listen, Jim. Why don't you do the smart thing and tell me everything you know about Sam Bass?
I've told you all I know, Marshal. I don't know where he is. I'm not one of his gang.
All right, my lad. I guess you'll just have to serve your time, then.
Oh, don't say that, Marshal. I want to help. Now, listen. I've got a plan.
Well, talk fast. We'll soon be in Tyler, and once I lock you up, I'm through with you.
If I help the government catch Sam Bass, will you drop the charges against me and my father and brother?
Well, I can't promise you anything like that. That's up to the district attorney.
But look, I can join Sam Bass's gang. I know I can. He's looking for me. Suppose you fix it up so I can go free for a while. I'll join Bass and find out where the gang is going to stage another holdup. Then I'll get word to you or the Texas Rangers to make them capture him. If I do that, will you get me off?
Do you mean what you say? Have you got nerve enough to try a thing like that, or you're just lying to try to get away?
I'll do it. I swear I will, if the district attorney will drop those charges.
Well, I'll talk it over with him. Maybe he'll see it your way, but mind you, I don't make any promise.
Well, the district attorney agreed to the plan Jim Murphy outlined, and to make it still easier for Murphy to join Bass, they fixed it so it'd look like Murphy had jumped his bond and run away. So, a few weeks after Murphy joined up with Bass and his outfit, Murphy sent word to U.S. Marshal Johnson that Sam Bass was going to hold up the bank at Round Rock. By this time, Sam and his men were camped near a cemetery outside of town, ready for the big holdup. Sam had already looked the bank over and gotten the lay of the town. While they was waiting for their horses to get a good rest, Sam, Frank Jackson, and Seaborn Barnes rode into town one day for a drink.
Howdy, strangers. What do you have? Red Eye. Leave us a bottle.
Yes, sir. Here you are.
What's yours, sir?
I'll take the same. What's yours, Sam?
Give me a cigar.
You mean you don't want a drink, Sam?
Not right now. Maybe later.
All right, bartender. Vamoose. Vamoose. We got business to talk over. We don't need your help.
Yes, sir. I guess I can take a hint. Just holler if you need anything.
Don't pour too much of that stuff in you, boys. And we got a job to pull first thing in the morning. I don't want you nursing hangovers.
Yeah, then you better help us empty the bottle, Sam.
No, thanks. I'll wait a while.
If you don't want a drink, Pod, why did you come in here?
Yeah. See that gal over there by the piano?
You mean the redhead?
No, the yellow-haired dog.
Oh, you mean that scrawny one?
What do you mean, scrawny? She's slim and pretty, and she's a friend of mine.
A friend of yours?
Sam, you ain't fell for no skirt, have you?
Will you two mavericks stop yapping a minute? This gal's all right. She comes from Indiana. That's where I come from.
You mean she knows you? We better get out of here.
What's the matter with you, Frank? You turning yellow?
No, of course not.
You sound like Jim Murphy. I ain't ashamed of who I am. I'll tell anybody who I am if they want to know.
Hey, now, wait a minute, Sam. You know I'm only thinking of your own health. All Jim Murphy worries about is his own skin.
Say, where is that guy?
We left him at the blacksmith's in Old Town, getting his horse shot.
Now, when you finish your drink, go out and round him up. I don't trust him very far out of my sight.
We should have killed Murphy that time at Frankfurt when we heard he was the spy.
I never believed that story. Anyway, they'll never put a rope around Sam Bass's neck. We rode right through that yellow leg ambush of Salt Creek, didn't we? This newfangled ranger outfit can't stop us neither.
Don't forget, Sam, them cavalry fellas was Easterners. The Texas Rangers is ex-cowboys, and they can shoot.
Now, let's forget about them ranger coyotes. Now, listen, Sam. What about this yellow-haired gal? Where does she come into this picture?
Well, I met her in here a couple of days ago when I come into town to size up the band. Here to singing a song, and I liked her and I liked the song. That's why I come in here. And I want you fellas to hear that song.
Well, I ain't much of a judge of singing.
Me neither.
Well, I am. And this is a darn good song, because it's about me.
Huh?
What's that?
I thought that'd make you sit up. Hey, Annie, come over here, gal.
I never knew before, Sam, that you was a music lover.
That's good. A music lover. Hey, you're getting drunk, Frank. Watch yourself.
Howdy. What can I do for you?
Hello. You have a drink?
Okay, I'll take a beer.
One beer for the lady.
Are these your cards?
Yeah. Boys, meet Miss Annie.
Hello, miss.
Howdy.
I was in here a couple of days ago. You remember me?
I sure do. Wouldn't expect me to forget a handsome figure like yourself, would you?
You ought to see his bow legs, miss.
That's enough, Frank. Apologize to the lady before I skin you alive.
Oh, why, sure, Sam. I didn't mean nothing. But what am I apologizing for?
A gent don't talk about legs in front of a lady. You meant limbs.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, miss. I apologize. I meant you'd ought to see his bow limbs.
Never mind my limbs, I mean. You better leave that liquor alone.
If you gents are going to fight, excuse me.
Don't go away, miss. I'm sorry. Listen, Annie, you recollect that song you sang the night I was here before?
Say, I sung over 50 songs that night.
I mean the one about that hold-up fella, the one who tapped the UP at Big Spring.
Oh, you mean Sam Bass?
Yeah, that's the one. Funny I forgot that name.
You want me to sing it again? Is that it?
Sure. Would you do that? And, here's a little something for your trouble.
Oh, thanks. What? Why, this is a $20 gold piece.
Sure. You ever seen one before?
Not many. Say, you don't need to give me that. Just a song.
That's all right, miss. It's worth $20 to have a pretty gal like you sing a song special, just me.
Stranger, you and me ought to get better acquainted. What's your name?
Well, that, miss, is a very personal question. Suppose you just imagine I ain't got a name.
Oh, of course, if you want it that way.
That's the way I want it. Now, let's hear that song.
Hey, Joey, pull yourself together and tackle that piano. Give me the tune for that song about Sam Bass.
Say, Sam, I thought you said you was low on cash.
I am. That was the last of the UP gold.
Can you toss it to that gal for a song?
Sure. There's plenty more where that come from.
Yeah, that's right. What's $20?
Yeah, sure. Have a drink, Sam. Come on.
Sam Bass was born in Indiana. It was his native home. And at the age of 17, young Sam began to roam. He first came up to Texas, a cowboy for to be. A kinder-hearted fellow you seldom ever see. Sam used to deal in race stock, was called the Denton mare. He matched her in scrub races and took her to the fair. Sam used to coin the money and spend it just as free. He always drank good whiskey wherever he might be. Sam left the Collins Ranch in the merry month of May with a herd of Texas cattle, the Black Hills for to see. Sold out in Cluster City and then got on a spree. A harder set of cowboys you seldom ever see. All the way back to Texas, they robbed the UP safe.
cut it short.
Hey, who do you think you are?
The young ladies are singing to us.
I'm sorry about that, and I gotta talk to you strangers. I understand you're carrying guns. I'm Deputy Sheriff Grimes.
Say, you got a nerve stopping me like that.
Don't give me no back talk, Annie. I don't suppose how I'd run you out of town.
Hold on there, Grimes. You get mighty tough with females, don't you?
Seeing as how you're so free with my name, stranger, what might yourn be?
I reckon 'tain't none of your business.
What's the matter? You ashamed of it?
No, I'm proud of it. My name's Sam Bass. Reach for the ceiling, Sheriff.
Sam, are you all right?
Sure, I'm all right. Is he dead?
He's dead as a doornail.
I'm sorry about that. He's the first man I ever killed. But he started to shoot when I had him covered.
Look out, Sam. Here comes another deputy across the street. I can see his badge.
Get out the back door, Barney. Lead our horses around the side.
I'm on my way.
If anybody gets in your way, plug him.
Hey, Sam, did you ever see a place empty out as fast in your life? There must have been 50 fellas in here 2 minutes ago, and now there ain't nobody but the dead sheriff.
And here comes another one looking for trouble.
You mean here goes another one?
You shouldn't have shot him like that in that bright sunlight. He couldn't see us even. We're going to have a fight on our hands getting out of this town. We've done it before, so I reckon we can do it again. Come on.
Hey, you head toward the alley, and I'll follow you backing up shooting as I go.
Sounds all right to me.
What's that?
Sounds like a bugle call. Let's get out of here fast. Good gosh. Look at that dust cloud down the road.
What is it? Yaller legs?
Can't be cavalry, must be rangers.
Look out, Sam. There's a fellow with a shotgun. I got him, Sam.
Yeah. He got me, too. I'm shot in the side.
Hang on to me. You'll be all right when you get on your horse. There's Barney with our horses now. Come on. I'll hold you up. We can still make it.
Thanks, Frank. I'll be all right when I get on that cayuse of mine.
What's the matter?
Sam is shot. Hold that horse steady.
Now, the guy got burned on the roof.
Easy, Sam. Up you go.
I'm hurt. Pretty bad.
You're all right, Sam. Come on. They want shooting. We'll give them their money's worth. Come on.
But Sam wasn't all right. He was dying. Barnes was shot and killed before he could mount his horse. Sam and Jackson, his closest friend, escaped out of town and outrode a posse that followed him. But Sam made Jackson go on and leave him hidden in a live oak grove. He knew he was dying, but he wanted his friend Jackson to escape. The Texas Rangers found him breathing his last. He died, refusing to name any of his companions in his various robberies. 2 days later, he was buried in the town's little cemetery beside Seaborn Barnes and Deputy Grimes, who had already been laid to rest. There were a handful of men and one woman at that strange burial. One woman was Annie, the dance-hall gal.
Let him down easy, boys. He's paid for his sins.
Yeah, and I gotta hand it to him. He was game to the very last.
Did you hear the Ranger's question?
Sure did. They couldn't pry a thing out of him. He stuck by his pals all right.
Yeah, but it's a good thing the state is rid of them. Those bad men gotta go. They're giving Texas a bad name.
That's right.
Excuse me, Mr. Hobbs. Do you think the preacher would mind if I spoke to him before he says his prayer?
Well, I don't think so, Annie. Oh, Parson Withers, Annie here wishes to say a word to you before you make the funeral sermon. Well, what is it, sister?
Well, there was a song he liked awful well. Mr. Bass, I mean. I'd like to sing it to him before they throw the dirt on his coffin.
What sort of a song, sister?
Oh, it was a song about him. And now that he's dead, I've written some special verses to it.
Let her sing it, Parson.
I brought Joey along with his guitar to accompany me. Mr. Bass would have liked it. I know he would.
Very well, sister. You may sing.
Thank you, Parson. Go ahead, Joey. Sam met his fate at Round Rock, July the 21st. They pierced poor Sam with rifle balls and emptied out his purse. Poor Sam, he is a corpse now, and 6 feet under clay. And Jackson's in the bushes, trying to get away. Jim Murphy borrowed Sam's good gold and didn't want to pay. The only shot he saw was to give poor Sam what a scorching Jim will get when Gabriel blows his horn. And so he sold out Jim and Barn and left their friends to mourn. Oh, what a scorching Jim will get when Gabriel blows his horn. Perhaps he's gone to heaven, there's none of us can say. But if I'm right in my surmise, he's gone the other way.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today to plead forgiveness for this poor creature who lies here at our feet, broken and disgraced. We know that you, in your wisdom and everlasting...
Hey, look over there. Who's that riding in the graveyard on horseback?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd think whoever he is, he'd have a little respect for the dead.
He's heading right this way.
Now, that damn fool.
Goodbye, Sam. Here's flowers from your old pal.
Sam Jackson!
Hey, it's Jackson. Sam Bass's best friend.
And so ends another of the Old Ranger's true stories of Death Valley days, made possible by your regular purchases of 20 Mule Team Borax, 20 Mule Team Borax Soap Chips, and Boraxo. Since this started out as a cleanup program, we'd like to say a few words about Boraxo, the modern hand soap that cleans dirty hands. We're sure that every member of the family will like Boraxo because it not only helps remove all kinds of dirt, but it leaves the hands feeling soft and smooth. That's because Boraxo is a special combination of fine toilet soap and pure borax in powder form. There's no grit or caustic in Boraxo, nothing to roughen or redden the hands. Best of all, Boraxo works quickly and efficiently in any kind of water, hot or cold, hard or soft. And its rich, creamy lather gets right down into pores and creases, under fingernails, and floats out dirt. If your family hasn't tried Boraxo, get a few cans tomorrow and see how enthusiastic they'll become over this new, modern hand cleaner. Put a can of Boraxo in the garage or basement for Dad. He'll soon find that Boraxo helps remove automobile grease and oil or ground-in garden dirt. Set a can of Boraxo in the bathroom for the children. They'll be delighted at the quick, easy way Boraxo removes stubborn play dirt from hands, elbows, and knees. Finally, keep a can of Boraxo on the sink. You'll find it's just the thing to help remove kitchen stains and odors from your hands. Boraxo is packed in a smart-looking red, white, and black metal can with a handy pour top. It's on sale at grocery, drug, and department stores. Remember, Boraxo cleans dirty hands quickly and gently. Now, let's hear what the Old Ranger has in store for next Tuesday.
Well, Dresser, although most folks don't know it, a piece of the famous Plymouth Rock is set in the brick wall of the courthouse of a Death Valley mining town. How this rock got there and what it means makes a mighty interesting story. I hope that all the school children will be listening in, because I'm sure they'll enjoy this unusual program. Remember, folks, next Tuesday evening at 9 o'clock.
I'm Dennis Daly. Thanks for going along on our journey through the final 25 years of radio. Radio's golden years. Join me again next time.